Good morning, everybody. We're live, finally. A little later than what I had hoped. But as per usual on a Monday morning, well, there were technical difficulties. Of course, there was technical difficulties that weren't there yesterday when I was preparing this stuff. But here we are. I promised you guys a brand new story. A brand new fantasy story, and we are going to deliver that. Well, hopefully, at least. We are going to... Well, we need music. That's the first thing, right? We need music. Let's start with something that isn't blasting my ears. Nice and calm. Nice and calm. A Bach. Johann Sebastian Bach story. As you can see, we're doing... a new setup now. I have my YouTube book here with me, and in this is the first draft of my 1-minute stories. Well, I used to call them ultra short stories, and then I figured 1-minute stories just sounds better and it's more precise of what it is. We have Girl on Fire. That was very long. We have excerpt from the first book of Dwarves, Giants Awaken. That was not as long. We have Equilibrium's Fall right here. That is also too long. Burn the World. And that is the final 1-minute story that I put into this book. So now that I am almost done, I'm not entirely done, but I'm almost done with Fly. I really hope it'll get out sometime very soon. I'll be done with it. Well, we are accompanying that with two extra stories, 1-minute stories, right? That's the idea anyway. And to do that, well, if I just... it's still not working. No, god damn it. Why are you not working? Okay, so I had my Chromebook input here. And that's the thing that has been bugging me all morning, that it keeps working and then not working. But it's supposed to show my 1-minute story. Well, the background for it, because I have two ideas that we wanna maybe hopefully finish one of them today. And I'm not sure. Can we do anything else? Can we? If I go back here, can we just? Why is it not working? How can you not be working all the time? Deactivate. Okay, now it... I didn't do anything. Right, okay. So here we have the first idea for 1-minute story. I have a little background. There's a title, Brainstorm. This is the story of the Savant, the dragon, the Savant dragon that, what's it called, that broke the dragons free from the elven serfdom. And that one is either... Why is this sounding like a horror movie, this music? Let's take the next one. Curse of the Witches, that also sounds like a horror movie. Dark Elves, probably better. Either that one is going to be like a... Oh my god. Back to pen writing. Either that one is going to be like a excerpt from a history book, just like Giants Awaken. So that was over here, like, you know, rumblings could be heard from deep beneath the earth. So very much like a history book. It's going for the suns, one of the first proclaimed. So, sort of like that. Whereas it could also be in medias res, like basically all the others in Equilibrium's Fall was the story of the Equilibrium as her temple was raised. Burn the World was also in the middle of a discussion, and I think that's the sort of the way that we want to go. The other idea that I have is for showing Sunerden without naming him with name. Is for showing him as the way he got his scar over his left eye. So that story is, I think that's also a cool little story of him defending dragon eggs from elves as well. Stupid elves, they are always the baddies in the dragon stories. But I wish I could show you I really wish I could show you what I've been doing, like the title brainstorm, so we could sort of so we could jump between the Chromebook writing, the Chromebook screen, and the webcam stream here. But that's apparently not the thing. No. Okay. Can I do something else? Could I do something else? What if we went here? Okay. What if we added this? Display capture, no. Window. So like this, we could do that, right? I mean, it's not the most ideal thing in the world, but at least it's there. I don't know, maybe. At least I can. Wow, it's not very pretty to do it like this, is it? Oh, it's not very good. I don't like it. It worked, but I don't like it. Okay, screw that then. Actually, remove it. Yes. Okay. So, which one do we want? I feel like I wanna do Sunerden's his story first for some reason, because I think I have a more clear vision in my head of what's going on with that. So we want for that story, I don't want to show, how do you say it? I don't want to show what's happening from Sunerden's point of view. I want it to be like that it is Sunerden. I want it to be like a big reveal at the end. Without me saying his name or anything. So the idea is just get something to drink. The idea is oh, forgot to say the joke. My average size mug. The idea is that an attack a decoy attack has been on has been made on the onyx drakes in the evergreen forest beneath the dragon roosts. A decoy attack from the elves because they wanted the eggs. And so the onyx has sent basically everyone to defend against this attack, this decoy attack, and has repelled them. But Sunyaden, who was not a very liked character, a very liked person in the amongst the onyx, he, despite his best effort, was never allowed to become a military guy. Was never allowed to do any fighting because, well, he's not the best person, and he didn't know how to manipulate neither the fire nor the winds, so they had no use for him. He was weird, and he was evil, basically. But since he was the only one left back that could fight, he himself repelled the elven forces that was sent to pick up the eggs, which was the mission for the elves. So that's the idea in my head. I feel like that's a very clear idea to have. Okay. Sorry, I was just thinking if I could do something else, so I could check up on if I can get my Chromebook input to work without. Oh, but it's probably fine. So my idea was, and I know I need to get pen. I need to get stuff on the page. My idea here was that we would see it from a captain's point of view as he returned from fighting back the elven attack. But what to call the captain? Maybe I should have figured this out before. Also, what's going on with my green screen? I feel like this is... No? Alright. Just annoys me that when I do this, my head chops off. Okay, I think this needs to be a bit closer. This is, of course, a new setup of mine. So we are testing stuff out. Well, I was testing yesterday, and it sort of worked. And then now, it doesn't. What's that? Oh, it's my Chromebook. Can we go close? No, that's fine. Let's not mess with it any further. Now that we have something that actually works. So... So, do we need names? It's always good to start with a name, right? Like we did in Burn the World. I will not discuss this further, as can the Grand Protector stood up from his table. But Gion. So we have two names in the very, very beginning of the story, establishing them. I quite like that. Trouble is, if we have to figure out some dragon names, well, naming stuff can take a while. I guess we still have a lot of hours, but we're also 15 minutes in, and I have not put anything down on paper yet. So that's fun. A 1-minute story is also difficult because we really don't have much more than a little over 1 page. And since I need a minute to read, I have a minute to read everything. This is pretty much what we can work with, except from the first book of dwarves. So anything beyond that is that needs to be trimmed afterwards, which is fine. It's just, takes a longer time to do. But just to show you guys some of the struggles, not struggles because it's self-imposed. It's a fun thing to do. Can we remove the microphone over there? That's fine. That's better, I think. Right. Okay, so how we start? So we have like a commander. Yeah, it's probably a commander. Wait, did you just... No, you don't focus. Good. I just thought it would... I thought it autofocused, which I had turned off, but I thought I had, and I had. It was good. Everything's fine. I'm just paranoid that something goes wrong now again. Okay. So how do we start? So I imagined it to be like two high-ranking officers reconvening after whatever decoy attack had been repelled. Okay, it is. So we write. Are you guys ready? We're doing it. We're doing it. We write our first words if this works. Oh, I just refilled my inking pen here, so it might be a little rusty. Commander! Just need to see how So I would do it like this. commander, and then the commander answers, Captain. And we probably need a name for this captain. Let me see if I can find it, or if we can make one up on the spot. So, dragon names. Let me see. I'm sorry I can't show you this right now, but I have a glossary. Of dragon words, and then of course I have my dragon naming convention. So naming conventions. So naming conventions. It is, of course, well, it's usually the brood carriers who names the dragons, but of course, the Onyx, well, they still have brood carriers, I guess. It's just the Onyx has just figured out that they don't need a queen mother to make eggs. Anyway. Yes, the whelplings are named after what the brood carriers will hope will be a defining feature for the dragons. And then females end with a consonant. Female names end with a consonant followed by 1, 2, or 3 vowels, whereas men have 1, 2, 3 vowels and then a consonant. So that's sort of the distinction between male and female names. So, for example, Ilikasi, she was female, and Ilikas means fierce. You know, it makes sense that you would hope a Vyrm, a beast of war, would be fierce. Vurusu, it's also a female name. Sunarden. Sunarden was, of course, ambition or ambitious. Sunard meaning ambitious. I feel like when we're talking about the Onyx, so they have been living. So they have been they've been trying to survive beneath the dragon roosts in the forest below, in the evergreen forest below the dragon roost. So I feel like they would have names sort of, you know, defender or ambition, protector, you know, survivor. Skills that one would need to survive. I feel like that would sort of be the way to go. So what if we called this one? Is it too obvious that someone in a military position is called defender or protector? Of course, we also have fear, which is path. We can also change them up a bit. We could also. I'm looking at my. I'm looking at my Chromebook, by the way, down here, where I have my glossary. As I mentioned before, I would really love it if I could show this to you, but my stupid. No, it's just not working. No, it is just not working. So we're back here. It's all right. So we have ambition. We have brave. We could do a brave. Duost. Duostar. Duostar. Duostim. Ah, Captain. Let's go with that. Duo. Duos. We have Sunarden. We have. Oh, you know what would be a really cool idea if Sunarden is actually the commander is his mother. That would be really cool. So Duos means brave, brave, and then we need Duostar, Duostam, Duostas, Duostas. Or did I mess up my naming convention? Yes, I did. Only one consonant at the end. Captain Duostas. Report from the so I feel like, of course, I don't have a map yet. That's also something I should probably soon get to work on, having an actual map for these stories, because from this story, I feel like I imagine you know what we can do? We can paint. Yes, we can. Add display. No, not display capture. Add window capture. Add source. Paint! No, that's not working. Whoa! Okay, we cannot add paint. Nope. Wow. Okay. Well, the idea was great. Let's remove that. I wonder if we can use Photoshop then. We should be able to, right? Photoshop. There we are. No, that's what? Untitled. Photoshop start bar. Why is this not working? Well, there's something, but it's not really my... Oh my god, I hate this. Okay. Well, that was a disaster. Okay, I definitely need to check out and stuff there to get that to work. But anyway, I think in my mind there were 2 elven attacks here. There were one from the north, one from the east, and then to the west is where the settler and the dragon roost would be. That way. And then from the south would sneak in these special ops elves to steal the dragon eggs while the onyx were occupied. So dual stars here report from the eastern woods. Report from the not with the big eastern, not with a capital. Report from the eastern woods. Yeah, we probably need a name for the commander as well. Oh no. So dragons don't speak, they don't contract words. We have successfully. We have successfully repelled the elven intruders. I feel like we could use intruders. If we did, that would sort of make a connection, right, to fly, because Sunarden is often called the Onyx Intruder. So that might actually not be the worst thing in the world. Maybe we can always change it afterwards. What is this? Oh yeah. The 21st of 21st of April 2025. This is the start. And this is page 9. Okay, we successfully repelled the elven attackers. What would we call them? Thesaurus, I need you. Let me just turn that one off. Yeah, that's fine. Attacker. Give me a good word for attacker, please. Aggressor. Honestly, not bad. Raider. Repelled the elven raiders. I mean, raiders is a good word, right? Because it implies that they've done this before. They're raiding villages. They're sacking the villages. And I feel like it also... Elves in many fantasy stories are these beautiful you know, highly cultured, royalty-like, almost pantheon, almost gods and goddesses. And I feel like if someone called them raiders, that would turn them almost more barbaric, at least in their mind, which makes sense, given that elves have a history of putting dragons to slavery. Repelled the elven raiders. I quite like that, actually. Elven raiders. Repelled the elven raiders with ease. Oh, commander. It's not the best. My fun little YouTube book here. It's not the best paper to ink on. It smudges a little bit. And that's not just my handwriting. That is the paper. Successfully repelled the elven raiders. With ease. I forgot ease. With ease. Commander. So this is a woman. I was about to say I have a word for care or caring, but that's fuolame, and we already have a duo stas. So I feel like we should probably have a little bit of difference. Should probably have a little bit of difference in the way the names sound. We could call her something with Friday, which is freedom, just like Furusu called her Whelpling. We could also call her something with Ilikas, fierce. I kinda want. Okay, given that I kind of want her to be called something that isn't necessarily military. So yeah, something like caring, not protector. Something that's a little more stereotypical ladylike, I guess. But maybe I don't have the word. I don't have the word yet. Oh, so sad that this freaking Chromebook screen isn't working. Could you just work for me, please? Because that way we could totally do. We could figure out names together. That would be so much more fun than me just sitting here talking in that direction while you can't see what I'm looking at. We could call her Dance or Dancer, actually. I kind of like that. That also, if this commander is the mother of Sunaden, it would make sense that she is deeply, she knows her way around the winds, right? Because Sunaden has a different kind of wind fighting, but he is very much using wind magic. Yeah, I kind of I like it actually. So, Ayansa is dance or dancer. Just need to dancer. Ayansa, and then something Ayansana. Ayansaka. Ayansaki. Sounds weird. This is how I come up with names, by the way. It's very much find a word, make a word. In this instance, Dragon language is inspired by Northern Sami language that they speak in Lapland. Not sure if it's called that in English actually, but you know, where Finland, Norway, and Sweden meet, because I wanted a language that very much like ooh, wah. And I first thought of Finnish as the backbone for it, as the inspiration for it, but yeah, I ended up with Northern Sami also because not very many people speak that language. So the way I work is that I find a word like dance, I look it up in a translator for what that word is in Northern Sami, and then in this case it's for dansa, maybe, probably, something like that, and then I change it up to something that is my own. That's basically how I work. So Ayansa is dance or dancer, and then we needed the it needed to have a consonant followed by 1, 2, or 3 vowels. Ayansa, Ayansama, Ayansana, Ayansada, Sada, Ayansa, Da, Ayansaha, there's a lot of A's in that word then. I guess we can change it up. Ayansaha, Ayansana. I like the N sounding. Ayansa, na. And then 2 of them because why not? Okay, we have a name for our 2 characters here. It was because I want him to talk about it was a strange I wanted to talk about that this was strange, the attack was weird. Like there were plenty of elves. Strange fight. But it didn't look like they were attacking. But of course, we don't have a hope. Oops. The ink goes through the paper, and I need this, otherwise it smudges in the background, as you can see there. Forgot about that. It's been so long since I've had an inking pen in my hand. If I may speak plainly, how so? It's also just one of these. How so? There were casualties on both sides, but it felt as if they were retreating, is what I'm trying to write here. But does that make much sense? It felt as if. But it didn't feel as if. Yeah, that's probably better. So remove this. It didn't. Everyone can see it says didn't there. Feel as if the elves, wanted to attack. It I'm trying to think about how so right now the only indication that this is the onyx is that they are in the woods, which we've established in Fly. Which we established in Fly is the onyx that, well, at least we haven't established in Fly that it's. Well, let me just think. Well, we have established that at the time of Fly is happening, the onyx are the ones living in the forests below. So this is the eastern. It just says woods. That's basically the only indication that we're talking about the onyx right now. I feel that should probably be one of the first things, actually. I have an idea, but it sucks that I didn't write it. So if you write up here commander and then write something like the onyx captain gracefully ended his glide next to his superior. Yeah, that's actually good, I think. the onyx. Problem is, it needs to be really small. The onyx. Captain. Ended his glide with a perfect landing next to his superior. Ah, that's perfect. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, I think that was actually really, really needed. That was actually really, really needed. I'm really happy with that. Problem is... Problem is, we spent like half a page on this introduction, and we needed to change, to turn into something has happened with Sunjarden, which we can still do, but we don't have a lot of space left. We have like a page left. Like one of these small pages left. I don't know why I was doing that. Actually looks nice that it lies up there. Okay. Okay, so now Iron Sanar agrees with Captain Dustas that it was the same where she was, and then we sort of get these two that they were attacking two places at once, in two places at once. It was the same in the to the north. To the north. It's the same to the north. The woods were crawling with elves. It would be cool if they had like a derogatory term for them, right? Scaleless? pale, scaleless ghosts. Yeah, scaleless. Scaleless is not bad. Wingless. Scaleless, like... It's a little bit... This music right now is a little bit... I know it's called Fantasyland, I think. Yeah. It reminds me of, like, Hawaii stuff. It's not always the best. It's not always the best. What's it called? Always the best mood for what we're trying. They were crawling with the scaleless scum. I feel like she would be calling them something derogatory. With those, with the or those. They were crawling with the scaleless bastards. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I definitely think it should be scaleless. That would be seen as something derogatory from the dragons. Maybe just scaleless. Maybe that's fine. The woods were crawling with the scaleless. But they retreated almost immediately when we... Okay, so boom. Now the introduction conversation ends and someone else is grabbing the attention. Commander! There's an N in there. Commander! Come quick! There's no need for Q to be capitalized. Come quick! It is your son. It is your son. And the eggs. They're coming for the eggs! What is the matter? Do you say what is the matter when it's come quick? Explain. Explain. It's probably better. Explain, soldier. We don't need. Explain, soldier. We don't need the name of that guy. The commander ordered the Black Drake. The Black Drake. The Black Drake that came running. Came running. Black Drake that came running. You better come and see for yourself, Commander. Commander. You better come see for yourself, Commander. The Drake answered and turned around. Now that he had wait, we didn't say turn around. Maybe we should just turn around, and that's the only thing, turn around. And turned around. Boop. And then Captain Duostas is gonna ask Commander Ayansana I thought that you did not I thought that you did not take I thought that you did not want. I thought that you did not. You see, he needs to ask her. He's surprised that she's taking Sunarden to battle. It's because something has happened to him. I thought you did not want your son. I thought you did not want your son fighting. Does that make sense? I thought you did not want your son. I thought you did not want your son fighting. Yeah. Or on duty. No. I thought you did not want your son in the army. I thought you did not want your son fighting. Is that... yeah. Fighting. Captain Durstas asked as they followed the soldier. So here I sort of want this to be the paragraph where, you know, it's revealed that her son is Sunarden. So she's going to answer like, I did not, odd. She didn't want him. I did not want him. I want it to be revealed that Sunarden wanted to show his worth. That was sort of why he got in here. And like Sunarden wanted to join her mother's troops. His mother's troops, sorry. Sunarden is a guy, of course. It's a male dragon. So he wanted to show that. Some fighting. Captain Drustas asked at the foot of the soldier. He wanted to join. He sucks at fire magic. He sucks at wind magic. And I kind of like the idea. I just had the idea that he would make the other drakes in the military, in the Onyx Guard, he would make them uneasy with his smile. Because that would make a definite connection to Sunarden in Fly. Because there he has a wicked smile that Vurusu does not like. Is there a... Oh yeah, I have to set that up. I just realized that a thing... This is a 1 minute story, so that means that it needs to be read in below a minute. In a way that makes sense, of course. Not just me speed talking. And I just realized that we could have a timer on screen whenever I need to start talking about that. That could be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, that could be kind of cool. Anyway, but that will be something for another time, of course. I'm not gonna find a timer widget on stream. We have other things to do. So Sunarden really wanted to join this Onyx Guard, the Onyx military. His mother is the commander. She does not want him to join because, well, she's afraid of what might happen to him. He is not very good with fire. He's not very good. He's completely useless with fire. He's completely useless with wind in a traditional sense. We need the pale scales of him to be mentioned. We need the pale scales to be mentioned. We need to mention that he had found different methods of using the wind. That's a lot of stuff that needs to go into a very small, because we have this much left of this page, and that's basically all we also have left. So we have like half a page left for all that needs to be said. And we need the big reveal of what has happened to Sunarden as well. Okay. Correct, Captain. Correct, Captain. You are correct, Captain. I do not want him in combat. He cannot. He cannot seem to grasp the fires nor the winds, and and he cannot seem to grasp the fires nor the winds, and the other drakes and the others are and the soldiers are uncomfortable with the way he smiles. I'm really not. Oh, I'm not. I think I'm going to need a lot more, a lot more writing than what we have here. So there's going to be some editing. I mean, Burn the World was, of course, also way too long. I think it took more editing to. It took way longer to edit Burn the World than it did writing it. It was actually, that was really clear. A really clear story. Okay. uncomfortable with the way he smiles. Full stop. Okay. By the way, this is very much the way I write stuff. There's a lot of thinking. I'm trying to say my thoughts out loud, of course, but which is actually kind of nice. It's kind of helping say stuff out loud. But yeah, I am sorry if the slow pace of the stream is not for you. But again, I'm happy if it is. And I appreciate anyone who watches this. Thank you so much. You are correct, Captain. I do not want him in combat. He cannot seem to grasp the fires nor the winds, and the soldiers are uncomfortable with the way he smiles. He protested. He protested. He protested about protested, not about, he protested me not taking him today. Something about a new way, something about a new way of winds. But I did not want to hear it again. And ordered. I kind of like the idea of a parent, a military parent, not really know how to be a parent, and then just treating the children like they were, like they're a soldier, just ordering them around. Not want to hear it again, and ordered something about the new way of winds, and ordered him to stay. Him to stay. If he snuck out again. ... pain is coming. Pain is coming if he's knocked out again. It might have been better if she said, like, he didn't go with you to Captain Drustas, because he was clearly not with her in the north. Okay, so now it might be the final paragraph is coming up. This is... So they turn a corner. To where Sunaden is. And there's supposed to be this... I guess Onyx Dragons would still have... They would have like a primitive hatchery, right? I'm thinking of how the scene looks right now. So there's a primitive hatchery. They don't have kilns. They don't have incubation kilns. They can't make incubation kilns because they don't know how to work the earth, how to do earth magic like the Savant did. He was the one who created the incubation kilns. So they would have like... They would have like... They would have like... fires. They would have like fires around things like... And then pots over the fires with the eggs, right? So like, they weren't boiling the eggs, but they were warming the eggs in pots. They could be doing that. Yeah. It's honestly not bad. I kind of like that idea. And of course, this primitive hatchery is it's littered with corpses of brood carriers and elves, and in the middle, with all the eggs, clutching all the eggs, is Sunaden. There's blood coming down from a scar on his left eye. So it is sort of... They do have like a city, but it's primitive. Now, is the hatchery... Is that inside, or is it like an outside hatchery? Have they built They built fortifications. I guess they also built. They would have. The Onyx would have built fortifications in the wood, but I guess they all would always also have built like. I guess they would also have built like. Huts. Simple, primitive dwellings. Okay, yeah, I think so. It's the Commander Ayan Sana did not expect the just blowing on it to make sure that the it doesn't smudge. She did not expect the sight that met her in the primitive hatchery. The primitive hatchery. I sort of wanna move up, right? What she sees, so I don't want to say the floor was littered with corpses first. I want to say that the pots, the egg pots, had been toppled over. Fires had gone out. The floor was littered with corpses. The egg pots, most of everyone can see that says most of the egg pots had been toppled over, and their fires underneath had been quenched. Is quenched the correct word? For when you turn off a fire? Turn off. Slukket. Quenched. Yes, had been quenched. Quenched. Why is this so much more smudgy than this was over here? Well, I guess it was also smudgy in places. And the fires underneath have been quenched. The bodies of onyx brood carriers and elven elven masterminds, not masterminds, elven special forces. Maybe just elves. Brood carriers and elves. Yeah, I think that's... And elves lay so we could either say lay scattered on the floor or littered. I kind of like littered on the floor, actually, to be honest. Because that implies that there are a lot of them. But of course, that could also be like there were a lot of onyx brood carriers, but elves littered the blood drenched floor. I mean, it should just be ground. They don't have floorboards. It's just stamped ground. Blood drenched ground. In the middle, okay, I was just wondering, like, this is going to be a long paragraph for such a small story. Fires underneath. Bodies of onyx brood carriers and elves littered the blood-drenched floor, blood-drenched ground, blood-drenched ground. we are also in the very, very final stretches of what can be written. If we compare it to First Book of Dwarves, Giants Awaken, we have one line left. Yeah, I know it's going to be edited, but of course I want it to be. I want to make sure that it's cold. I want to make sure that I don't have to edit too much out, because that takes so long. Against, I'm gonna start a new paragraph here. Against the back wall, her pale dark dart. Her pale dark scaled sun was sitting panting panting as he gathered the eggs around him, as he gathered the black eggs around him. When he looked up with blood running from his left eye, he smiled. His wicked smile. Just to really drive it home that this is in fact Suniaden. His wicked smile. Okay. That was actually that was the first draft for the 1 minute story. Okay, we need a title for it. Okay, we need a title for this one. Oh. We need a title. Or we could let's try reading it aloud and see how long it actually takes us. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Commander, the Onyx captain ended his glide with a perfect landing next to his superior. Ah, Captain Duostas, report from the eastern woods. We have successfully repelled the elven raiders with ease, Commander Ayansana. It was a strange fight, if I may speak plainly. How so? There were casualties on both sides, but it didn't... what the hell? What on earth did I write there? But it didn't feel as if the elves wanted to attack. It was the same to the north. The woods were crawling with the scaleless, but they retreated almost immediately when we... Commander, come quick! It is your son and the eggs! Explain, soldier, the commander ordered the black drake that came running. You better come and see for yourself, Commander, the drake answered and turned around. I thought that you did not want your son fighting, Captain Duostas asked as they followed the soldier. You are correct, Captain. I did not want him in combat. He cannot seem to grasp the fires and the winds, and the soldiers are uncomfortable with the way he smiles. He protested me not taking him today, something about a new way of the winds, but I did not want to hear it again, and ordered him to stay. If he snuck out again... Okay, there are definitely some... Never mind. Commander Ayansana did not expect the sight that met her in the primitive hatchery. Most of the egg pods had been toppled over and their fires underneath had been quenched. The bodies of onyx broodcarriers and elves littered the blood-drenched ground. Against the back wall, her pale dark-scaled son was sitting, panting as he gathered the black eggs around him. When he looked up with blood running from his left eye, he smiled his wicked smile. Okay, so that was way too long. But we did also mess up a ton. There was also... And that fires the body of... black eggs. That was way too long. But yeah, we definitely messed up. I can actually place it here, and then you can see me. Let's try again. Commander! The Onyx captain ended his glide with a perfect landing next to his superior. Ah, Captain Duostas, report from the eastern woods. We have successfully repelled the elven raiders with ease, Commander Ayansana. It was a strange fight, if I may speak plainly. How so? There were casualties on both sides, but it did feel... It did not feel as if the elves wanted to attack. It was the same to the north. The woods were crawling with the scaleless, but they retreated almost immediately when we... Commander, come quick! It is your son and eggs! Explain, soldier, the commander ordered the drake that came running. You better come and see for yourself, Commander, the drake answered and turned around. I thought that you did not want your son fighting, Captain Duostas asked as they followed the soldier. You are correct, Captain. I do not want him in combat. He cannot seem to grasp the fires nor the winds, and the soldiers are uncomfortable with the way he smiles. He protested me not taking him today, something about a new way of winds, but I did not want to hear it again, and ordered him to stay. If he is snuck out again... Commander Ayansana did not expect the sight that met her in the primitive hatchery. Most of the egg pods had been toppled over, and their fires underneath had been quenched. The bodies of onyx broodcarriers and elves littered the blood-drenched ground. Against the back wall, her pale dark-scaled son was sitting, panting as he gathered the black eggs around him. When he looked up with blood running from his left eye, he smiled his wicked smile. Okay, well, it's better. 1.5 minutes. I did feel like I was a bit fast in reading it. But, you know, there's definitely some things here that can be edited. Well, they have to be edited either way. And this here... This... I don't know, it feels a bit too much exposition like. But okay. This was 10. Hey. I've written 5. We're still on the 21st of April. That is 2025. Okay. It's kind of nice. Of course, we need the title. So, what have we had as titles before? What have we had as titles before? We've had Burn the World. I was very proud of that title, actually. And the way it ends with the ash will cleanse the world and only the worthy will remain. Quite like that. Then we had Equilibrium's Fall, showing the... This title was a bit of a double entendre. Equilibrium's Fall. It was both the fall, the beginning of the fall of the Equilibrium as a religion, but it was also the Equilibrium, the spiritual leader's fall. That was when things went downhill for her, to say the least. Found her whole family dead. Excerpt from the first book of Dwarves. I added Giants Awaken to this. I think, didn't I? Yeah, first book of Dwarves. Giants Awaken. Girl of Fire. We could call it Drake of Wind. Or The New Winds. Let's I have another book here that I just scribbled in. We can write. Actually, let me just say, okay, move this to here. Yeah, should be able to find it again now. Okay, so let's say dragon 1 minute story number 1 title brainstorm. Brain is for the eye. Everyone can see that. Brainstorm. Boop, boop. Okay, so what did we say? We said, so we had Girl of Fire. We could say Dragon of Wind. Dragon of Wind. I'm not super happy with that, but we just... You know what, I wanna have it over here. So we can, you know, for a bit of a mood. Yeah. It's good. It's better. Dragon of Wind. I'm not so super happy with it. I mean, it is implied. It's mostly just implied, isn't it? Down here. That it is his new way of winds that he has been using to kill all the elves. So that Dragon of Wind. New Wind. Could it also be called New Winds? Could call it Winds of Change. Because Sunjarden has found a new way of utilizing the winds. That's sort of the idea. It's a bit too generic, right? Winds of change. I don't know if it's generic, but it sounds a bit odd. Way of the Wind. Way of the Winds. This is just brainstorming. I'm just spitballing potential titles here. Explain, soldier. Commander, the Onyx captain ended his glide with a perfect landing next to his superior. New Winds, Way of the Winds, Winds of Change. I mean, if you call it Winds of Change, we're sort of alluding to the fact here about a new way of winds. Which is kind of nice, to be honest. The more I think about it, the more I kind of like Winds of Change. I mean, it's really cool, actually. But it feels a little bit generic, doesn't it? I mean, what else could it be? Of elves and winds. Of elves and winds. Or this needs to be a capital O, of course. Of dragons, elves and winds. Winds of attack. But I mean, if it was winds of change, I mean, we could also go with like, I mean, that would imply that this is a moment that things change for, well, the Onyx, right? Which it sort of is. It's supposed to be him supposed to be Sunarden who has killed. Well, I think we need to change up of an Onyx Brute Kira and multiple. Everyone can see that says multiple elves. So he has single-handedly killed off multiple spec ops of elves, special operations of elves. And it was glorious. Because this is the first time that Sunarden has used the winds for speed. Like what he is showcasing in Fly when he tries to kill Wurusu. This is the first time he's using it. That's the idea, that's the point, that's the event that is happening. And sure, we're not explicitly writing that. Should probably actually be explained that the elves over here have been sliced. It's sliced up real good. Winds of change. I mean, of course, we can always mix it up. We can always change things. So it's not like we're locked into it, right? But Winds of Change is actually, I kind of like that. I gotta say, I kind of like it. Of elves and winds. That sounds like a song of dragons, elves, and winds. Winds of attack, winds of change. I don't mind new winds either, actually. It sort of has the same as Winds of Change, right? Sort of the same annotation is what I wanted to say. Winds in the woods. I don't know. I just thought of it. Thought I might as well write it down. Do we have any... What's that? Hello, Thesaurus. Wind. Air current. Blast, breeze, cyclone, clone, gale, gust. Gust of change. Tempest. Whirlwind. Tempest of change. Are we going with Winds of Change? I feel like I keep circling back to that in my head. The more I think about it, the more I'm talking myself into it, basically. Dragon of Wind. New winds. Way of the winds. New ways of the winds. Winds of Discovery. It's not really though, because Sunaden has known of this for a while, for a long time. Winds of Discovery. Fighting winds. What if what if we didn't? Nothing with winds. No winds. Stop it. Stop it with the winds. What would we say then? Oh, sorry. No winds. Dragons of change. Changing dragons. It's not very good. Changing dragons. Dragons of the woods. Evergreen dragons. So, Dragon of the Woods, evergreen dragons. That sounds like the green scale, right? That's not. They're not supposed to. The Roostless. The Roostless. Fallen Dragons. Fallen Dragons. Honestly, the Roostless is not bad either. Maybe. I'm probably gonna end up with Winds of Change, but let's just roll with it for the time being. Evergreen dragons. I mean, it's supposed to be the dragons of the Evergreen. Dragons of the Evergreen. It's mostly so that we know. I mean, that's just where we are in the world, right? Also, my headset is soon out of juice. Let me just grab my. It's annoying. It is annoying to hear. So. Fallen Dragon sounds almost religious. Which is kind of cool, but I mean, it sounds like they've fallen from grace or something. They just fell from they just fell from the roost, the dragon roosts. I don't know if this one is too. Actually, kind of like that Forgotten Drakes. Maybe. Forgotten Drakes, of course. If it's too much like the. If it's too much like our. Too much like our. What's it called? The whole thing. My whole universe is called Forgotten Songs. And I know we weren't supposed to think about something with winds, but Forgotten Winds also sounds cool. I mean, we also want it to sound cool, right? And I guess they weren't. I guess they weren't forgotten in that sense. But I mean, it's kind of cool, isn't it? I say I don't hate it. I actually kind of love it, Forgotten Drakes, because they were allegedly killed off, right? They thought the Topaz dragons, and basically every other dragon, thought that they died off after losing everything they had on the dragon roosts. And coming down to a forest where incubation kilns were destroyed. Forgotten Drakes is not bad. Winds of Change. See, while I like Winds of Change, it's just very generic. Is there a... It could also be Forgotten Dragons, of course. Forgotten Dragons. It's actually probably better. Forgotten. Did you think we had forgiven? Forgotten Dragons. Forgotten. Forgotten. Abandoned dragons. Buried dragons. Ooh, that's not bad. Buried dragons. Erased, omitted, suppressed. Abandoned. Forlorn. Okay. Now my Chromebook just... Okay, thank you, Chromebook. Just stopped. I guess it did do that. It do that sometimes. Missed, neglected, omitted, overlooked, passed, unheeding. Buried dragons. They're not buried though, but... Dragons. I mean, maybe someone did try to bury them, basically, right? Buried dragons. So that's Forgotten Drakes or Forgotten Dragons. Whoops. That talks about... Like, that tells something about the setting, right? It is the Onyx Drakes. It is the Onyx Drakes that we're following. They've been forgotten, basically. The dragons of the Dragon Roosts thought they... out of sight, out of mind. They never got to them. They didn't want to. Whereas Winds of Change is a title that talks about what happens in the story. Like that. As Fallen Dragons also. Sorry. Winds of Change talks about the story, what's happening in the story. There, Suniarden has found a new way of utilizing winds, which then sparks the events that leads up to Fly, where they attack the Topaz Dragonkin together with another Dragonkin. But you know, I also like Forgotten Dragons, Forgotten Drakes. So like, we have a title that shows the setting. Girl of Fire is also a title that talks about the setting. I mean, that's basically saying we're talking about Huohun here. She's the Girl of Fire. Excerpt from the first book of Dwarves. That's very descriptive of what the text is. Giants Awaken was then also the setting. Like, this is the scene you're gonna watch. Equilibrium's Fall. Equilibrium's Fall is very much what the story is about. Burn the World is... I would actually say Burn the World is about the setting. It's about Ascan trying to bring about the ash. Not necessarily what's happening in the story. But I mean, we have to settle on something. And of course, we can't always change it. It's not like once we write it down. Well, it'll be written down in my first draft book. But it will not be written down. I mean, it will be changeable online. So maybe we should just pick one. Winds of Change, Forgotten Dragons. There's a problem with Forgotten Dragons, Forgotten Drakes. In that our universe is called Forgotten Songs Universe, Forgotten Songs Fantasy Universe. So there's gonna be a lot of forgotten. Abandoned, buried, erased, lost, omitted, repressed, suppressed. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take Forgotten Drakes. That is the one that we're gonna go with for at least for the time being. Forgotten Dragons. Because we want people to... So it's actually this one. I mean, I feel like dragons is a good word to have in the title as well. To make it interesting. Forgotten Dragons. So it is indeed about the setting. Okay. And I think with that, we've made a new 1-minute story, guys. Well, we read the first draft of it. Now comes the digitizing. Doesn't take too long. The revision, we wanted to be below 1 minute to read. And that's the difficult part of this. And we're probably going to do that tomorrow, maybe. Or maybe we're gonna write the other 1 minute story tomorrow. One of the two, I feel like. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. Alright. With that, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. As we will be doing one of the two things. We will either be digitizing and revising Forgotten Dragons. Maybe change the title again. Or we will be writing the second Dragon 1 minute story. So that was page 9 to 10. Forgotten Dragons. Okay. And remember, if you like this live stream, if you like this video, the VOD, I would be much appreciated if you would like it and subscribe to me. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow at around 9 CEST. Maybe 9:30. Yeah? Okay. Alright. Bye, guys.